So.
All right.
Great assist, not bad, Joe.
Joined now by Syracuse head coach Gait and Joey Spallina. We'll get an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions. Coach.
All right, hard fought battle, kind of what we expected from Air Force. They came in and they worked really hard and played hard and gave us a tough run. And I thought our guys ended up doing what they needed to do to get through it and then get out of here with the W. So happy for the win and ready to move on.
Coach, why do you think it took a little while to get going there in the first half?
It's a long trip, a lot of travel, a lot of this, a lot of that. I think it was just a bit of a slow start, and we were a little sluggish. And I think we, after we got through the first quarter there, we played a lot better defense. We just played a little bit better and hustled and got our legs under us, and were able to finish the game.
Joey, 8 assists. I think only Tim Nelson has ever had more in a game here. What did you see that worked for you distributing today?
Yeah. They were kind of in like a man zone look, right? So, I knew pretty much coming in, that I was gonna be behind the goal feeding the guys, and I honestly love that, right? If I had 0 goals and whatever amount of apples, I think I'd be the happiest guy. But they were. It's just a zone, right? So you're just trying to beat it with passing, and I think we just did a great job of that. So.
In terms of Air Force, a little bit of a struggling season, but came out and obviously hung with you guys in the first half. What kind of challenges did they present, Coach?
Like I said, they we expect that out of a team, an academy team that is going to give it 100% no matter what. Whether they won the last 3 games or lost the last 3 games, they're going to show up and they're going to compete. And I think we've seen that in other games of theirs where they've given teams a tough run at the beginning and just haven't been able to finish games. And sort of what happened today.
Go ahead.
Obviously, it feels like any Syracuse game, there's always a lot of fans. Were you surprised, though, that it was really more Syracuse than Air Force fans today?
No, I had no idea it might be like that. And I was talking to a couple of the Air Force people before, and they said, yeah, they get it's tough to get attendance here, but I get it. We're out in the mountains here, and it's not a huge fan base for lacrosse down here. So, and it's at 3 o'clock on a Thursday, which makes it tough for high schools and teams to get out here. But some of them showed up after, I think, and the crowd filled in a little bit as the game went on, so it was good.
I saw you guys got to go see Casey at Colorado Academy there, and obviously you got some more time out here. For both of you, what do you think this trip can do for the team?
Yeah, I think it reminds me a lot of the trip we took my sophomore year where we went to the Outer Banks and it was like just us for however many days. And, I think a trip like this, right, like you're with the guys all day, right? So it's it's just a good way to, have a little team bond thing and not many other teams get to kind of go on like a spring break trip like we are, so I think we're pretty fortunate and thankful for it, and it's just good spending time with the guys every day. So.
Coach, you mentioned not a huge fan base for lacrosse out here, but how have you seen it maybe grow since in the past, and with people like Casey trying to help grow the sport out here?
I think what I mean by out here is specifically down in Colorado Springs. I know Denver. I spent a lot of time there, and in fact, the head coach of the Colorado Academy is a former Syracuse alum as well, Dan Pratt, who I played with. So that was the reason we went out there, and it just, he's taking care of our other alums, got Casey on board, and it was nice to see both of them there. And lacrosse has, talking with them, lacrosse is kind of, it hasn't grown a lot in Denver. Like it had a huge growth spurt there for a number of years, and now it's kind of settled down, and it kind of is what it is now. And there's lots of lacrosse here, and there's lots of great kids. So certainly we look at kids from here, and it's just tough to make that drive, an hour and 20 minutes down here to come watch a game.
In the game today, did you feel like there was something that you guys did better in the fourth quarter on that spree you had there than you had in the first 3?
Well, in offense, a lot of times we look at, getting scoring opportunities as really the success of an offense, is how many scoring opportunities you get. And we probably missed 8 to 10 one-on-ones with the goalie. To be honest, Joey probably should have had 12 assists instead of 8. And, that's just not, again, to be honest, I don't think guys are used to getting that wide open shots right in front of the goal like that. So, they didn't take their time, they didn't finish, and we turned the ball over quite a bit on one-on-ones with the goalie. So, goalie played great, credit to him, but in the end, we settled down and started shooting a lot better, and we finished on our shots.
Final question.
Michael Leo had 5 goals, 6 assists, I think both career highs. What does he, I know he's been flip-flopping back and forth, midi and attack and stuff. What does he mean to this attack and to this team?
He's an important player. He's a key when he's firing, we're firing, and I think to be honest, that's the first full zone team we've played, and so it was about moving the ball and finishing on shots, and probably most of our goals were assisted because it was a zone and it wasn't a bunch of dodging and that type of thing. It wasn't one-on-ones. It was pure ball movement. So we executed, I think, really well on the offense. Shooting got better as the game went on.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.